TANF area, of the temporary assistance for needy families, that benefit amount is about $49.5 million for each of the next fiscal years. We are targeting to pay an obligation or a cost that should have been paid back in 2009 but has been deferred to the employee retirement system for 1 month's worth of contribution. We are targeting to meet that obligation in 2013. And then an increase in the EUTF, or the Employers Union Trust Fund, or the employees' medical coverage contribution for fiscal year 11, which is at $54.3 million. So these total financial plan items that were not previously included in the financial plan, I'm sorry, they were included in the financial plan but not in the base budget, total $117 million the first year, $154 million in the second. For those items that were not included in either the financial plan or in the base budget, it's the Medicaid benefit reduction. And this is about $25 million in the first year and $50 million in the second.
Explain what the Medicaid benefit
This is as a result of anticipated federal funds in the Medicaid program that did not come to fruition in the current fiscal year. The state has already ramped up a certain level of program and services in the area of Medicaid. In anticipation for those federal funds, they did not materialize. So a number of programs have already been reviewed in terms of what services, eligibility, benefits can be arranged or rearranged in the area of Medicaid. The Department of Human Services is currently looking at modifications to the QUEST program, or the QUEST ACE program, that will deliver this level of savings. Because there are rule changes and federal approval that will be required, the savings is less in the first year and more substantial in the second. So the first year savings would be in the area of about $25 million. In the second year, it could get up to $50 million. The next two slides are operating budget initiatives that are included as part of the Abercrombie administration by department. They total nearly $50 million in the first fiscal year. Nearly every department has some form of additional budgeting requirements. These are not, by any stretch of the imagination, what I would consider expansion of your state government. Merely, these are to get back to providing core critical services to the public that is needed for certain departments to meet public expectation of what services their state government provides.
This is what I was referring to when I said we have to restore critical government function. We're so far behind right now that we're just trying to get even. This is not an expansion of government. It's trying to get back to where we can deliver basic service.
So just for these operating initiatives alone, it's about just shy of $42 million in the first year, shy of $57 million in the second year. Capital improvement project side. We want to emphasize this is part of a larger overall and comprehensive strategy for the New Day program to deliver and ramp up capital spending and capital projects as a means to restart and rejuvenate the overall economy. By all means of financing, we're looking to increase $1.2 billion in capital projects in the first year and another $500 million in the second year, beyond what is currently presented in the base budget. By departments, you see where there's very broad, diverse, and distributed funds for capital projects. In the area of GO bond financing, it's about $824 million in addition to what has already been submitted. So there's going to be about $1 billion worth of GO bond projects that are to be proposed for capital project expenditures. And the next two slides will give you an idea of where those projects exist for GO and government general obligation revenue bonds. That's what the GOR stands for. Again, some of these projects are for critical core services for state governments, repairing and maintaining those facilities in the state that provide core services. But they also represent a very smart and concerted effort on capital projects. We are not talking about funding capital projects just for the mere sake of funding them or just to increase capital projects. These are projects that departments have identified are critical in need and can get underway immediately. So only those projects that have been identified as being able to start right away were candidates for eligibility of funding. And they total about $824 million in the first year and about $248 million in the second, in the area of GO and GO revenue bonds. Now, in terms of federal funds and other revenue bond funds, capital project, there's another $196 million and $73 million in the first fiscal year, respectively. And these will all add to the overall capital projects program for the entire state. That's the last slide on the presentation.
We have to take a long, hard look at ourselves and determine what we can do as community, as Ohana, as family, as people of Hawaii, to literally salvage what our state means to ourselves and what our state will mean to those coming after us. We cannot avoid any longer coming to grips with what we need to do as a society together here in Hawaii. And so while I'm sensitive to and understanding of individual benefits that people may have enjoyed up to this point, in order for any of that to be sustained at all, we have to look to see how we can help one another.